Hey everybody, welcome back to Between the Lines with Lisa Leslie. This is presented to you by State Street Investment Management. Today I have a new champion on the show. Yes, representing with her championship hat, the one and only NaLyssa Smith of the Las Vegas Aces. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Man, thank you for having me.
How does it feel to be a world champion? Let me just start out with that.
It's insane. I feel like life ain't slowed down yet. Everything, like every day I've had something to do. So I feel like this is one of the most exciting times of my life. So I'm gonna take advantage of everything I could do.
Listen, I remember winning the first championship that I won, and with my teammates, just hanging out, partying,
Yeah.
having a good time, day and night, trying to figure out we'll sleep later.
Right.
Um, Congratulations! What a huge accomplishment! And obviously, we
Appreciate it.
saw all the clips of the celebration. It looked like you guys were having so much fun.
hmm
And whose idea was it? The worst to first shirts, because that I really loved it. What's the backstory on that?
Actually, it was game 3 versus Phoenix, and our trainer Sierra. That was her idea. So full credit to her. She had came in the locker room and was like, "Damn, Lyss, from worst to first, like it's crazy." And I was like, "Damn, I gotta put that on a shirt. Like that's such a fire slogan." So
Yeah.
full credit to her for sure.
And when you think about that, what's probably been your favorite moment thus far of the whole celebration?
I'll probably say just the day we won it. I feel like that's when it was like, just seeing the trophy, seeing how emotional everybody was, because we all know what it took to get there, and just finally seeing like, the fruits of our labor. I feel like that was the best part for me.
Yeah. I think back to being in the locker room with my teammates and the champagne and just
Yeah.
the goggles and us dancing and wilding out. But you guys have social
Yeah.
media. So it feels like we get a chance to really be invited into that party. Whereas for, obviously all the old school players, it's memories.
Yeah.
And they do have some video of it. But it's kind of cool that social media really allows you guys to, see that moment, but also share it with all of us. So we were celebrating with y'all, popping bottles and all of that. So
For
I want
sure.
to ask you though, as you think about all that you've accomplished, let's go back a bit. When you head into this season, you had just been traded from the Fever to Dallas,
hmm
the Wings, and then Dejanay was also heading to Dallas, which we know is,
hmm
the love of your life.
hmm
And your team had the number one pick in the draft, which ended up being Paige Beckers, of course.
Yep.
What was your mindset originally going into this season?
It's just to have a way better season than I did last year. Like I had small goals of, double double every game. I wanted to lead and rebound and stuff like that. I was super excited to play with Paige too. I feel like Paige is one of those players you watch and you like, damn, like I would love to play with her just because she gets the ball to people. She could score willingly. So
Mhm.
I was super excited coming into this season for sure.
How was the first couple of months just really guiding her as a rookie and you as a vet?
I feel like it was easy. Like I feel like Paige is just that type of person that like if she needs information, she'll come to people, or she'll ask all the right questions, or she just already has it. When she
Mhm.
coming from UConn, it's like some people just already have it. And it wasn't a lot of teaching that we had to do for Paige. Like she kind of like just gelled with us perfectly, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was like in sync from the first day.
Now, do you realize that you were drafted 2022?
hmm
You have had a number one pick on every team every year.
Yeah.
With Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, then Paige Beckers. Like, how does it feel to be like the rookie point? I guess like you've
Yeah.
met all of them. How have you navigated that? And did you get comfortable in that role?
Honestly felt like it was no way I could lose.
Yeah.
Like when you keep getting put in these positions where I'm getting paired up with number one picks, it was just like, well, it's no way I could lose. Like this isn't not like it's not by accident. Like
Mhm.
nobody else has experienced this. So it was a blessing. And just to be able to be around such great players and get to, see the difference in, players and personalities and playing with them and gelling and stuff like that. I feel like it's an experience I get to talk about for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're experiencing how they come to work, what their work ethic is, right?
Right.
Who wants to get great? Who wants to be good? Who's in
Right.
the gym when you don't have to be in the gym, right? All of those
Mhm.
things that especially now as we shift over to the Las Vegas Aces, you know exactly what that looks like playing
Yep.
with the best player in the world. But what are your thoughts about when you got traded to Las Vegas? What were your first thoughts? And were you thinking, because at that time they were actually 8-8. So
Hmm.
were you thinking like, here we go again? Or were you like, what was your thoughts?
Initially I was very, very caught off guard. Just because I really didn't see it coming. Like it came out of nowhere. There was no like hints that something was gonna happen or like I don't know, it just came out of left field. But the thing I was just more emotional about is, I'm from Texas, my family's there, my girlfriend's there. So it was like I was creating a home out there.
Mhm.
And then just to have like, that rug took from you without even knowing, I think that was the part that I was, the most sick about. Of
Mhm.
course we were losing, so it wasn't like too much of the basketball part, but
Right.
of course I made bonds with a lot of people I would have probably never made bonds with. So that was something I got out of it too. But the initial reaction of getting traded, I was sick to my stomach. Like the tweet said, I was sick. My family was there. They were coming to every game. Got my grandpa to come to a game. He ain't seen me play since college. So it was like just huge moments that was happening for me. And then that had happened. But like I said, it was a blessing in disguise at the end of the day.
Isn't that one of those things where you just don't know what God has planned for you because
Right.
you get traded? And I specifically remember when I was like, even when Dejanay got traded, and I just bring her up obviously because that's your girlfriend, but just saying
Yeah.
like seeing you guys and her getting traded, and I'm like, oh shoot, Minnesota about to go off.
Yeah.
And then with you, I feel like I'm always like, and I'm just being real honest. And when I see you, I'm like, this girl got so much talent. Like she can hoop, she can score,
Yeah.
but sometimes she doesn't, sometimes she doesn't. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
For
then
sure.
I look and I see you get put in a position with Vegas, and I'm like, that's going to be a nice fit. Can you just talk about maybe your arrival and your first conversations with Becky, and how
Hmm.
did she tell you, or did she tell you what she wanted your role to be?
It was crazy because when I first got here, it was just the most like family feeling I ever felt on a team. And I was only there for like 2 days, but it was just all the people that reached out to me, all the people that, like tried to help me navigate stuff. Like when I had first got here, I didn't even come to Vegas. My first, like I literally got to Vegas and got on a plane to Indiana and we had a 10-game road trip. So
Oh, dang.
I didn't even see my apartment until like 2 weeks later. So it was just so many people that was, in my corner about if you need help with film, if you need help with nutrition, weights, this, that. Like there was so many helping hands. And then I remember when I had finally sat down and talked to Becky, it was just like we didn't bring you here to do anything extravagant. Like we want you to be you. Like we've seen you play plenty of years. We've been wanting you for a long time. And we just want you to be true to yourself. Like go out there and, score how you know how to score, rebound, run the floor. Like you're playing with great players. So it's gonna obviously like bring that out of you. So
Yeah.
it was such high praise when I first got here and just her telling me like we've wanted you so long and we've known the talent that you had. It was just about how to get you and then we
Mhm.
finally got you and now we know what to do. So it was an exciting feeling.
Oh, that warms my heart because I feel like sometimes it's just being on the right team in the right place, the right fit.
Yep.
And I remember hearing some of the times when you had interviews and you were saying that you felt like you fell in love with basketball again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's the environment, right? It's
for sure.
organizations. Every organization is different, and how it's ran and how people make you feel is goes so far. So
Hmm.
I'm happy to hear you say that you felt that because it showed like your game. And again, always what you were doing, it wasn't like, oh, we've never seen her do this before. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that, but it's that fire where you feel so motivated to let me come and
Hmm.
do exactly what y'all brought me here to do. So
Exactly. Yep.
congratulations on that and showing up
Thank
in
you.
those big moments. Because again, as a fan, I'm a fan. I just really was proud and happy for you in those moments as well.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, the WNBA is such a sisterhood, and everybody knows everyone. What was your relationship like with Asia Wilson and Chelsea, maybe and some of the other girls before you arrived in Vegas?
Chelsea, Jackie, most of the team I've never really spoke to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not for real. I mean, we would like, what's up? Hey, hello, like
Right.
at Unrivaled and stuff like that when I would walk by and see them. Even Asia, we didn't really have like a huge relationship. The first time we really like talk for real was that viral clip that was when we played against them, and she was telling me, like like a certain move to do
Yeah.
or a different way to approach it, stuff like that. That was like our first real conversation.
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, okay. That really tells you a lot about the type of player and person Asia is, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I can't imagine one player in the league that while I was competing against them, I would take the time to help them with any move. Like, bro, you on your own.
Right.
you know? So I mean, shout out to her as a
Nah, for
person
real.
to do that. And how did that make you feel? Because were you just in the moment like, is she really trying to gas me up or is she really helping me?
Nah, I feel like if somebody of that caliber says anything to you, it's coming from a place of love. So that's
Mhm.
why I soaked it up so easily. I probably even tried to hit the move right after she told me because I'm
right?
like, she not gonna leave me in the blind. So it
Yeah.
was just a great feeling. Like I said, it's a player I looked up to for a long time, somebody I've modeled my game after. So
Wow.
just getting that encouragement from her and just getting tips and pointers, it's something I didn't even experience a lot from, teams I've been on. So for
Mhm.
someone to do it and they're not even on my team, I feel like that was huge.
Yeah. And I also look at like veteran leadership. I don't know if there's sort of a little bit of a gap where maybe some people didn't really have that connection to have
Hmm.
that veteran leadership. And I don't know if we missed a gap or if we just didn't see it. Maybe the turnover between players retiring and still competing. But I love that when players can realize you're a veteran and there's so
Hmm.
much information. No, that's where I come from. I come from a place of love and just like, listen, all I got is information. Why wouldn't you share it? Why wouldn't you give
Right.
it out? You know what I'm saying? And help anybody, next generation. So I really love that. That's awesome. This episode of Between the Lines with Lisa Leslie is brought to you by State Street and SPY, the official ETF partner of the WNBA and investors everywhere.
Invest in your future with SPY, the original S&P 500 ETF from State Street. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit statestreet.com/IM for prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully. SPY is subject to risks similar to those of stocks. All ETFs are subject to risk, including possible loss of principal. Alps Distributors, Inc. Distributor.
You guys, before you got to the finals, had a lot of tough matchups. I mean, the
Hmm.
Seattle matchup, then the Fever, I mean, and then Phoenix. What do you feel like? Which one of those series would you say was probably the most challenging?
The most challenging,
You're like, really ain't nobody come for us, but no.
now I would probably have to say the Fever, honestly, which
Mm.
which hurts me to say that. Now I'm playing, but I would have to say the Fever for sure because I feel like they just played with nothing to lose.
Mhm.
I feel like when you are down like players and it's a abnormal season, it just forces you to have to, play out your body. So I feel like
Mhm.
that's kind of what they did, and kudos to them. I feel like they had a hard fought series with us for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and I've been saying that all season. Like every time you think, okay, Indiana's got to be done, and then they come back again. I mean, they had just
Yeah,
like 9 lives, and they fought for everything that they got. So yeah, we definitely want to give them a shout out. And then when you look at Becky Hammon at the helm, a player who I played against, who was tough as nails to play against, who now has what I would consider a dynasty with, you start winning championships 3 out of 4 years. I'm like, I don't know
yeah,
what else you want to call it. I'd call it a dynasty. But she has also talked about, partly criticizing you guys, but also motivating you.
for sure.
Um, can you just share some of those moments about maybe how she's gotten on you, but also how she's built you up?
I think that's what I commend Becky on the most is just how her balance. Like
Mm,
I feel like a lot of coaches don't understand the balance of, when to be hard on a player, but at the same time you got to lift them up within like, not all the way at the end of the game or like you just got to say
yeah,
something
you got
motivational to
this.
make sure that they stay into it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Becky does a tremendous job at that. Like there's been so many times, where she's gotten on me and like I've get in my head like, damn, was that really me? And
Yeah.
then like the next play, I do something positive and should be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like you could do it. Like
Yeah.
I just gotta like, sometimes a coach, even though we're older, they shouldn't have to pull it out of us. But sometimes it's good when a coach, can consistently like tell you when you're wrong. I'm the type of
Mhm.
person where it's like, you got to tell me directly. Like, you can't speak in the air of
Yeah.
like, y'all need to do this better. Like, it has to be like, Lyss, I need you to run the floor harder.
Yeah.
Lyss, I need you to rebound harder. And I think I received that a lot better when it's
Hmm.
direct. And I think she does a great job of doing that.
That's great. I like the way you put that together too, because every player is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to speak in general because people get their feelings hurt, but then some people like that direct communication, which is good because if you communicate that to her, then she knows exactly how to give
Right.
you exactly what you need. Well, it's been such a season. What was probably your biggest takeaway, whether it was like the physical, the physicality, the mental side of it? Because I know it's quite a journey that you guys go through, and we watch. You know, I feel like we turn on the TV every 2 days, and y'all on. You
Yeah.
know, like that. Hey, back on again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 3 days a week, 4 days a week sometimes. But when you just kind of step back from this whole journey, what do you take away?
I say the mental piece. I always kind of think back to like the position I was in last year, and just I just think about how blessed I am right now just to even, be in this position to win a championship. Like,
Mhm.
I would have never thought I was gonna win a championship last year just because of the way like life was going for me. So I would say just the mental part of it was just leaning on my friends, leaning on my family, my girlfriend, my teammates.
Yeah.
And then just coming to Vegas, like I always say, like it changed my life. Like, people be laughing when I say that, but like it literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me like want to go harder. It makes me want to hurry up and get back in the gym. Like, I'm last off seasons, I probably gave myself a little more time, but now it's like I'm ready to get back in the gym. Like, I'm ready to start working on stuff. I'm ready to be around my team again. Like, it's just an exciting feeling. And it's like, I feel like it's something you just gotta stay mentally positive, like never get too high, never get too
Mhm.
low. And I think that's something I learned was when I did get too low, like I was getting nothing out of it. And then I just surrounded myself around great people and, got closer to God. And I think that's what helped my journey a lot more this year.
Amen. Well, I love it. Okay. So let's look ahead now because, well, before you head out for vacation.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to Athletes Unlimited. What 5 players would you want to take with you there?
Oh, to AU? Any 5 players in the league?
Yeah, you can take 5. Don't forget the coaches might be listening though.
Asia, Jackie, Chelsea,
Oh.
me, Jewel.
I ain't mad at you. You're like,
Let's run it
DJ,
back.
keep the party rolling. We just gonna run it back. Well, you know what? Listen, I again am so proud of you. I wanted to be able to tell you
Thank you.
that. Congratulations on signing with Disrupt the Game. I know there's going to be so many
Appreciate
great
that.
things for you to do. Yeah, coming up because we're a family. We keep it moving. We keep it popping.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting for you. And then just like you said, perspective. Blessings to you. Continue to work on all of the things that you know that you can continue to do because the target gets bigger. You win
Yep.
championship. Now you need a back to back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Asia need a fourth championship. Like it just continues, but you guys can do it. And I just really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I wish you the best of luck. And where are
Thank
you gonna be
you.
celebrating? You going anywhere fun? We celebrated in Hawaii when we won. Where y'all going?
We ain't even decided yet,
No?
honestly. It's somewhere in Mexico probably, but
Okay.
no point.
All
No
right.
like exact point yet. Yep.
All right. Ciao, bello, then. Have a good time. Thank you again so much, NaLyssa. Give my love to Dejanay as well. She knows she's one
I
of my
will,
favorites.
for sure.
And blessing to you guys. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate you.
This episode of Between the Lines is brought to you by State Street Investment Management and SPY. State Street knows that getting there starts here. Today, we're going to talk about the WNBA and how we got here. Well, starting 28 years ago. When the WNBA was starting to launch, most of the players had already signed with the ABL. There were only 3 of us who signed with the WNBA. That was Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, and myself. We then got assigned to teams. So it wasn't like there was a first draft. We got assigned to the areas where we lived in. Rebecca got assigned to New York. Cheryl got assigned to Houston. I got assigned to LA. I am so thankful for the investment that the late great David Stern invested in the WNBA, but also the late great Dr. Buss Dr. Buss, who was the owner of the Lakers, who bought the Sparks and really invested in us, allowing us to have our first ever WNBA game at the Los Angeles Forum. I thought it was going to be a summer league. I thought we were going to wear reversible jerseys, and I had no idea that we were going to be playing in actual NBA arenas. So once I found out we were playing at the Los Angeles Forum, oh my God, like I had the same locker room as the Los Angeles Lakers. My mind was blown. I think the WNBA became very popular and dominated by first the Houston Comets. I mean, they had the most Olympians, they had the most talented team, they kicked everybody's butt. And it was really, they set the bar for like what you wanted to do was to win a championship. And I think all of us, every player, your goal if you play professional sports is to win a championship. And they set the bar really high. I think the LA Sparks was one of those teams that we always had major rivals and fights and just trying to find a way to knock Houston off the top. I ended up winning 2 championships, but I think the next dynasty was created in Minnesota. Also Seattle. Seattle was a tough team. So I think the dynasty talk is something that over time, Minnesota's been able to build, winning championships and all the odd years, I believe it was. Seattle winning championships. And then you look at the Las Vegas Aces. I mean, here we are now in 2025, and they've won 3 of the last 4 WNBA championships. From day one, I always thought that we would grow the WNBA fan base, that it would continuously grow because people who come almost never leave, men or women. When they see a game in person, they're hooked. And I thought that over time, people would continuously get hooked on the WNBA. I never had a doubt. The players, since the conception of the WNBA, have been very patient with being paid higher salaries and having some sort of equity share. And I think now is the time, and they know it. And I'm really proud of the players that they are stepping up to the plate and they're asking for what they're owed. And I agree, because I've been a part of at least 2 or 3 where it just wasn't the right timing. We had nothing that we could leverage, if you will. And I think that the players have a lot of leverage right now. So I'm really proud of them. I hope that they get everything that they're asking for and more. This WNBA was built on vision, dedication from players, from owners, everybody, from fans. We appreciate all of you. And it's like State Street says, getting there starts here. And the WNBA is truly proof that belief and persistence pays off. You can find Between the Lines with Lyssa Leslie on your YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Between the Lines is part of the Just Women's Sports Network. Follow Just Women's Sports on all your favorite social channels to get all your latest women's sports news. And you can follow me, Lyssa Leslie, at Lyssa Leslie on IG, X, and TikTok. Between the Lines is produced by Taryn Penna and edited by Chris Wonder.